Hey, you, you guys got any of that Battlebots?
uh,
Oh, it's finally back. Well, then so are we.
uh, Jack, you're addicted. We need to send you to therapy.
Mac, you know you're addicted as well.
I mean, true. That's
For the
very true.
last, for the last 2 weeks, we have been going back and forth at each other. Where is Battlebots? When is Battlebots going to come back? And so on and so forth.
When are we
It's
getting
very tiresome.
When are we getting to the Battlebots factory?
Exactamundo. But yeah, finally it's back. Finally, something to quench our thirst. Alas, this episode was unfortunately a kind of stagnant glass of water, wasn't it?
Unfortunate.
If we're being totally honest.
Yeah,
but
yeah, 2 weeks. 3 weeks even, and this is what we get. I mean, we had some good stuff on it, but yeah.
You know what? Let's be real. Even a mid-episode of BattleBots is still BattleBots.
Yeah, it's better than no BattleBots at all.
Yeah, which is what we've had to endure for the last 3 weeks. Ugh.
But
I never want to go through that again. But we will have to in a few weeks.
Yeah, when the story actually fucking ends for the season.
And then comes back with the golden bolt.
Yeah, true.
And then ends again.
It's a vicious it's a vicious cycle.
I love the sport so much, man. I hate being without it.
Yes, it's good shit. It's like we need more robot fighting. It's just in general. Like, come on, more people, please do stuff.
Absolutely, yeah. You can never have too much robot fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Mac, how about you take it away for us on this week's episode?
Well, if you want me to start, then before we do that, I have a thing I need to do first. Because you see, in my hands right now, I have a box. And inside this box is another box. And I'm gonna open this box to see the box inside.
Oh, yes!
And then you get the fucking scissors. Okay, yeah, so I haven't opened this yet.
I was wondering when this would arrive.
Yeah, it literally just arrived today.
Oh, okay, yes, the timing is nigh.
I'm holding these scissors super dangerously right now. Yeah, so, Jack, would you like to explain the details?
Okay, so in our quest to support the show and the builders, I recently managed to purchase some items from the good website Robots Ruined My Life. Mac wanted a specific Ripperoni pizza box in there, but because they do not ship to Australia, I had to buy it as a proxy, and I also bought myself a t-shirt into the bargain. And as a result, I also made a little request in regards to this. Got my t-shirt, got some stickers out of it. Also got a nice little shout out from the Ripperoni team and the other good people at Robots Ruin My Life. Content creators keep this sport alive.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. We greatly appreciate the shout out from you guys, and we greatly appreciate the merch.
Yeah.
So, Mac, how about you open up that box to see your new box?
Okay. Okay. Okay, so I have all the tape cut, so let's have a look at this. Oh, wow, oh, that is fucking quality.
Oh, yes. Yeah. You know what else is quality?
Yes, what was quality?
Open the box, Mac.
Okay, let us open the box carefully so I don't break it. Oh, oh, that's fucking awesome. Oh, yes. It's nostalgic. Yeah, that's so sick.
Yep. Okay, everybody, so I made a little request if the good people at Robots Ruin My Life wouldn't mind personalizing the box a little bit for Mac because he really wanted this pizza box. And they included a very nice signed photograph specifically for him as part of this, and it just did my heart so good when I opened the packaging to get Mac's box to ship out to him and saw that in there as well. And I thought, oh man, this is going to make Mac's day.
God, I love it. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, we love you. Thank you very much, friends of the podcast.
God, that's so sick. This is such a fucking good box.
It really is, isn't it?
It is, like, fuck. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be using this for, like, a fucking prop in something at some point.
Yep. For everybody who is not aware, Mac is, of course, a filmmaker. Mac really wants to use that box in a movie.
I do. Whatever,
Yep.
literally whatever I can.
This has already made this episode worthwhile, hasn't it, Mac?
It has. It absolutely has. Like, because I literally only just woke up from, like, a 1 hour nap after being awake all day, so, yeah. That worked me. What? That worked me up completely. Yeah.
It's good to know.
Yeah, but okay, so let us get into the episode, starting with Black Dragon versus Beta. Fuck. See, I'm still not fully awake yet. Like, this episode was so mid it put me back to sleep.
That just woke me up. So that was a fucking lie.
Let me look the fucking gift fucking. If that woke me up, but like. Look, okay, I'm calling a mulligan. Black Dragon versus Beta. I request a second mulligan. Black Dragon versus Beta. Zach, take it away.
Okay, so Black Dragon versus. No, I'm not doing that bit. Not even for comedic effect. Black Dragon versus Beta. A fight I was absolutely salivating to finally see. What promised to be a driving match for the ages between the always tenacious Black Dragon team and one of the sport's greatest drivers, John Reed. Alas, it did not turn out that way.
He tried his best.
Beta coming out sporting what is known as the ugly armor, a specific armor configuration, vaguely boat-like in a lot of ways, that is designed to deflect some of the damage from vertical spinners, and also sporting its fin hammer axe blade setup, which promised to be be able to break the hammer of Black Dragon if it was able to hit it dead flush. Now, Mac, do you know what the definition of insanity is?
I believe it is doing the same thing over and over again, with expecting a different result, like me trying to say the name Beta. Fuck. See, exactly. See, right there.
You know how big of a fan I am of John Reed and his team, and always have been, and I love the team to death.
Yes.
We were hoping that it would be third time being the charm, that this armor setup would actually work. We saw it go up against Ribot, and Ribot beat Beta's ass. We saw this armor setup used against Lockjaw. Lockjaw beat Beta's ass. And now we saw it up against Black Dragon.
Well, Jack, you know what they say, third time's a charm? But there's no charm here. The only thing charming is John Reed, and yeah.
I so badly wanted for this to work here, but unfortunately, the ugly armor sacrifices a lot of the ground game, which is really what John needed here if he was going to take on the likes of Black Dragon. And I feel like this setup would work a lot better with, I don't know, some forks or something like that to enable it to still be able to get underneath its opponent. But the loss of the ground game ends up taking a lot out of Beta's effectiveness here. And as amazing a driver as John Reed is, he's up against another fantastically driven robot. And unfortunately here, this just ultimately did not work out. Even within one hit, Black Dragon was already dealing a lot of damage to Beta. Beta lost mobility quite quickly. It lost its hammer quite quickly. And ultimately, with the loss of the hammer, the ability to self-right. And that was all she wrote when Black Dragon was ultimately able to invert it.
Yeah, like, it was just like, I don't know. It was a poor, I don't want to say it was a poor choice, because, like, I'm sure they had a strategy, but it's just, I don't know, it's just, it worked against, I guess it worked against them, that's what I'm trying to say.
Now, for what it's worth, the armor itself did hold up to the blows from the vertical spinner. The problem is the robot couldn't quite seem to compensate for all of the concussive force that it was receiving, and that was what ultimately caused the hammer to stop working, from what I could see.
Yeah.
So while Black Dragon couldn't really get through the armor, it was the shock that was ultimately doing the damage to Beta, and yeah, so the armor held up, but Beta basically got shaken to death in this instance. So, yeah, unfortunately, I think at this point, we need to write the ugly armor off or revise it a little bit more. I don't think it works out in practice, and ultimately, yeah. But what am I? I am just a humble armchair builder, so...
Make it even uglier. Add some fucking... add some, like, stickers to it or something. I don't know, that might help.
Yeah, this was an unfortunate outcome for Beta, which have been doing so well in the competition up to this point. Of course, it's still going to get into the round of 32, but I have to feel that this performance is not going to help its overall seeding very much. And it's still got a final tough fight coming up against Bloodsport as well. So I can understand John. I can understand John's rationale in taking a chance on trying out the ugly armor again this time, but yeah, unfortunately, just didn't work out. And I felt pretty bad for him because he looked quite crestfallen after this loss as well.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, he really wanted this armor to work, but hey, look on the bright side. Like, at least there's no external damage to Beta. So like
nothing irreparable anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was pretty much anything that would have been like damage would have been internal. So that's probably fairly easily repairable for them. So they're not in too much of it, like too much danger going forward.
Yeah, and it's like, even if I would have preferred Beta to win, I can't really be mad that Black Dragon won, because I love Black Dragon. I always want to do well.
Yeah, Black Dragon are absolute killers.
Yeah, and good on them for really getting back into the tournament after the loss to Quantum.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so kind of disappointing first fight, just because it had so much potential to be more. But oh well, perhaps we'll see a rematch down the line, and hopefully, yeah, we'll get a better showing eventually.
Exactly. Up next, we have Cobalt versus Overhaul. And there's one word that sums up this entire fight. Suboptimal.
Wow.
Like, they say it themselves.
This was a big underdog fight for Overhaul against one of the most feared machines in the entire competition. But being totally honest, much as I love the Overhaul team, this was a fight they were never really in, were they, Mac?
No, yeah. That Cobalt is just in a whole different league than Overhaul.
Yeah. Cobalt getting briefly stuck on the spike strip aside, where it got freed by Overhaul in the display of good sportsmanship. This was basically just an extended ass kicking, with Overhaul being on the ass end of it. So Cobalt basically just shredded Overhaul's tires. It was a fairly slow fight, ultimately ending with Overhaul getting launched onto its back, where the damage is too severe for it to be able to self-right. Got counted out. There really isn't much to say on this, unfortunately. Not a special fight like we'd hoped it would be. Cobalt continues to sail into the bracket, looking largely uncontested so far, outside of its one loss to Minotaur, but now it has a strong foe in Lucky.
Oh, hell yeah. And you know what, Cobalt? I think going 3-1 is a good thing to do. Like, I think you've already got a strong record, so sorry for your next loss, but hey, you tried your best.
So you mean going 2-2, right? Cobalt's already lost a fight this season, remember?
So, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot.
It lost to Minotaur.
Oh god, yeah, you're fucking right.
It lost to Minotaur in the greatest fight ever.
Look, fucking, can you blame me for thinking Cobalt fucking is undefeated?
I mean,
it's Cobalt.
Point conceded.
Like, okay, 2-2.
Okay, well, we'll see if Cobalt gets lucky later on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like, so, to this fight's credit, Overhaul did fucking explode pretty wildly into pieces. So that was entertaining. But yeah,
I mean, its wheels did, I guess.
I mean, its wheels did, like, the fun of it did a bit. It was fun.
Ultimate, yeah. Overhaul, I'm thinking there is a possibility that it could still get into the tourney because it did have a fantastic fight with Claw Viper. I think it's all going to depend upon how badly it beats Shred It Bro when it fights them.
True. Hopefully it's a big beatdown.
Yeah, I'm really hoping so because I want Overhaul to do well. Overhaul is always very entertaining. It never does as well as it should.
True. I mean, like, and
to be honest, yeah, I really want to see them beat Shred It Bro.
I mean, that's not exactly a hard task to do, but yeah.
But what are we but a couple of armchair builders?
Exactly. Up next.
I don't want to keep being mean to Shred It Bro, but
yeah.
Oh, well.
Up next, Switchback versus Ominous. Can we be mean to these two?
I suppose we could. Some big weapon-to-weapon shots define this fight. Switchback seeming to get the worst of the first, but the second blow rips off their faceplate and the impact turns over Ominous, whose Shremek fails. They get counted out, giving Switchback a quick and fairly deserved win in this case. There's not really much to talk about in all of this fight. Like, it was pretty much just those two big weapon-to-weapon hits. It's a decent win, all things considered, for Switchback. And it is a shame that Ominous is struggling so much, because I do like the whole vertical spinner plus Omni wheel setup, but it's just really not working out for them in practice. Switchback I can see getting into the tournament at this point, albeit with a low seed. I think Ominous is cooked.
Yeah, that about sums up the entire fight.
Yeah, like, I do not see Ominous I don't see Ominous getting into the bracket, even if it wins its final fight. I have to figure that they're done, they're out, they're cooked.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's not much they can do at this point.
But still, hopefully they can revise the robot and come back next time, because Ominous was one of the victims of the whole, not being able to get over to America because of the whole flight thing back in the previous season. So technically speaking, Ominous is also an outdated design much in the way that Death Roll was.
Yeah, actually, yeah, true.
So who knows? Maybe we see them next season badder than ever.
Possibly. Like, I mean, that's always the hope. You always hope that, like, weaker robots, like, come back a lot stronger, like, in further seasons. Because, like, we have seen it before, and we've seen it this season.
Oh, yeah, I mean, what a glow up that Claw Viper's undergone.
Exactly. So, yeah, hopefully they do...
Going from perennial low carder to potential champion.
Exactly, yeah. So hopefully they get a chance to do that as well.
Up next, another do or die type of match. In this case, for both teams, we finally get a look at Triton's Power up against Glitch.
Ooh.
Glitch has been kind of glitchy this season, even for them. They have had a rotten run of luck this season, and as we see coming up, it's about to get even worse.
Yep.
Triton has also had an unfortunate season where, Lucky punted it all over the arena, and Copperhead literally tore its ass out of it, leaving it in the iron butt, as we saw before.
Yep.
But Triton showed that it was able to scratch that itch in this case, as it went one-on-one with Glitch, and almost immediately landed a big hit that took out one side of Glitch's drive. Now, Glitch runs on an Omni wheel setup, so losing that side of its drive meant that it was pretty fucked already. The only thing saving it at that point was the crab walking rule that has been introduced for this season to mixed results. However, this ultimately did help Glitch a fair bit because it allowed it to inflict an attack on Triton by going weapon to weapon and actually managed to completely break Triton's weapon, gumming it up by losing one of the drive belts as it went flying into the air. Triton, however, managed to survive, and in a display of, quite frankly, brilliant strategy and driving, it positioned its blade in such a way that it was able to get behind Glitch and use the blade to push it into the wall. And then, when it seemed like Glitch could still just shuffle slightly, Triton managed to direct itself up Glitch's back and direct its weapon blade into Glitch's still running weapon. And there was another big catastrophic collision from this, but Glitch ended up on its back, unable to self-right, and Triton managed to score a very convincing victory over a very dangerous foe.
It used the environment to its advantage. Like, that was very good driving from them.
Yeah, like honestly, I was incredibly impressed by their tactical ability in this fight. They pulled up a brilliant lateral thinking strategy here. So well done to them.
Yeah, like this was the best it's looked so far. Like, I am very impressed.
Yeah, so it was a great showing by Triton. It's on the back foot, but it could still potentially come back and get into the tournament, depending on how its final fight goes.
Yeah, honestly, Triton does have potential because I mean it's like we know it's pretty much just the fucking Tombstone clone, but like it could still be a contender, a low contender, but a contender nonetheless.
Yeah, and hopefully they can get it dialed in. However, Glitch, like Kenny said, all that Glitch really has going for it in this season so far is its pedigree from how brilliantly it performed last year. I think Glitch is cooked. I don't think Glitch is getting into the tournament at all.
Yeah, Glitch is absolutely not. It is not getting in, and that upsets me a bit because like I like Glitch, but like there is barely any improve. Like there's barely any visible change like to Glitch from last year. So yeah.
Well, it's like they said. This is technically speaking the best Glitch has ever been, but it's been plagued so badly by problems this year, and ultimately I think it's got too much working against it, and I can't really see it winning its next fight.
I think the biggest issue is they don't know how to strategize, like, because their big plan for this fight was to go weapon to weapon, and look how that fucking went out for them.
Now, to be fair, they did manage to break Triton's weapon.
I mean,
had it not been for the fact that they'd already lost drive on one side, maybe things would have turned out different.
I mean, true, but like, I don't know, like this. I feel like they need to try to figure out better strategy than like just going head to head, you know. But I don't know. Also, Will Bales was doing commentary for this match.
Yeah, he was there.
He was good.
Yeah, he was enjoyable. I enjoyed listening to him. Will Bales is always a treat to have involved in something.
True, very true. But yeah, pretty good fight. Up next, Gigabyte versus Star Child.
Yes, this was Ice Wave versus Huge all over again.
This was fun.
Star Child is an unfortunate machine in a lot of ways. I really want Brandon Zielinski and co to do well. I was absolutely ecstatic for them last season when, P1 managed to get all the way up to the top 16. I thought that was a fantastic showing by them. But Star Child has not had a fun go of it this year, has it, in its debut season?
It is not. Like, it's tried its best, but look, we got him like flying around a little bit, and in this one we got him bouncing around like a 1930s cartoon character.
This is the thing. Flatbots are a very difficult robot to get going in the heavyweight division nowadays. I mean, we've seen how effective they can be in the past with the likes of Stinger, for example, back in Robot Wars, and I believe Ray Billings even had a Flatbot years ago as well. But unfortunately, in the current spinner-dominated heavyweight scene, Flatbots, even with a spinner attached as Starchild does, have a rough go of it at the best of times. And up against Gigabyte this time, Gigabyte was equipped with a special configuration designed to be able to fight Huge, what they called their Huge Wings, that allowed them to completely obliterate Starchild's wheels, just completely tearing apart the wheels for the entirety of the 3 minutes before, cruising to an easy judge's decision. It's a very strong comeback for Gigabyte after some of their previous performances, but they have Endgame to fight next, and That could be a very, very entertaining fight, but I don't see Gigabyte winning that.
Yeah, like endgame on like against any opponent is like there's a low chance of even like getting close to beating them. Like it's not impossible, but it's like improbable. And like Gigabyte especially, like is very improbable. But not impossible.
Yeah. One thing that I see as being absolutely impossible at this point, however, is Starchild getting into the tourney.
Yeah.
It has lost 3 in a row, and it's up against Huge next, who is going into the tournament with a very high seed, and I like Starchild as a concept. I can't see it beating Huge.
Huge is going to fucking rip it in half.
It's quite possible that could be what happens. But it's going to be pretty cool to see Battle of the Behemoths.
Yeah, like at the very least, it could be fun, like for a little bit.
Like Battle of the Big Boys.
Exactly. I am looking forward to this.
Hopefully Starchild can give us a show in their final fight of the season, and hopefully they can come back strong next time, or possibly with a different robot. We'll see.
Maybe.
But I do want to see Brandon and Co back, because I love those guys. They're awesome people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Up next, speaking of final appearances, we have the last dance of Captain Shredderator going up against Jackpot amid more highlights of Shit-Tide's smug shithead behavior. We saw the struggles of Shredderator to get ready for this fight, as they had to salvage older versions of Shredderator and came in with mixed results, as we saw. The robot clearly being unstable from the get-go and couldn't really demonstrate much control or aggression in this fight, as it struggled to be able to pursue up against a robot as tenacious as Jackpot. I do feel bad for the Shredderator team, because they've been on the back throughout the last few seasons, and having to go through the stuff with Riptide now, and that this looks to be their last fight, because we'll just say now Shredderator does end up losing this fight,
of course,
and that's like 1-3 record, and its one win was not a good one.
But ultimately it went out fairly high. Like his head held high enough.
Yeah, it did manage to actually perform reasonably well in this fight, as it seemed to at one point break Jackpot's weapon. But of course, this came at the cost of destabilizing part of Shredderator, as a big chunk of the shell got ripped off into the bargain. So, swings and roundabouts there, I guess.
Exactly, yeah.
Ultimately, went to a decision. Wasn't quite enough to win them the decision. Jackpot manages to take it. And Jackpot looks set to go into the tourney, all good.
Yeah.
But, if this is the last we see of Shredderator in this configuration, at least they got a decent send-off. And, there are plans to redesign it next year from the ground up. So here's hoping, Mac, that we get to see a new and improved Shredderator, or a new and improved, or an all-new robot. I'd love to see the team perform well.
You know what? We have sealed Shredderator. It's time for Sword Shredderator. Have it just be a big, spinning sword.
That is quite the fault.
Yes, what's anyone gonna do against a sword? Like a big spinning sword, eh? Nothing. That's gonna lose.
How about giving Shredderator Mjolnir like an endgame?
Actually, yeah, big swinging fucking hammer, yeah. Or alternatively, it's an American based robot. Give it a gun.
Oh.
Too far.
Just teaming up with Double Jeopardy.
Yeah, teaming up with Goose when it finally debuts. it's just all guns blazing.
Oh, man. With that, we finally come to our main event of the evening. Bloodsport versus Rotator, a fight with much hype going into it for this one. Bloodsport immediately managing to get the better of the exchanges, as they nearly tore off Rotator's plow right out of the box, and we know just how damn sturdy that plow is mounted as well.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Yeah, it's like immediately Bloodsport coming in, out for blood. Some great weapon-to-weapon exchanges in this fight before Bloodsport ended up getting hung up on the screws for an extended amount of time. It did manage to recover, and they managed to disable drive on Rotator to take the W. Again, not much to say about this fight, although it was a very entertaining one for how long it lasted, and was definitely a highlight of this episode. I'm pretty comfortable awarding this the fight of the night, but we'll come to that in a little bit. In terms of scheduling, up next, Rotator could still get into the tournament, but it has a rough foe up against Fusion, one of the more improved robots of this season. And honestly, I think in that fight, there's a strong chance that Fusion could end up taking the win.
Possible. Actually, very possible.
Honestly, I'm actually kind of rooting for Fusion in that fight. I really want to see Fusion do well. It's come so far.
It has.
And, you know, we love Reese here on this channel. We stand the Ewerts here.
Yeah, true.
Bloodsport going up against Beta next. That's a very interesting fight because Beta is designed to be able to fight horizontal spinners. So Bloodsport could be the favorite in that fight just because of the power of its weapon and its pedigree, but who knows? It will be really interesting to see if John and Beta can bounce back from their rough loss to Black Dragon. I nearly said the wrong word there. But...
Oh god, jeez.
Yeah, we'll save that for when talking about Hydra, I guess. Yeah.
Hey.
But yeah. All in all, it was a reasonably good episode. At the very least, it quenched our devastating thirst for some Battlebots this week. So I was glad to have it for that, if nothing else. And all in all, fairly entertaining episode.
Yeah, like it wasn't spectacular, but it was a good get back into things episode, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With that, Mac, how about this week's awards? You want to take it away for us?
Sure. We'll start with the knockout of the night. And I believe the knockout of the night, if I can find it, is Triton versus Glitch.
Yep, brilliant display of tactical ability by Triton, as even without its weapon, it manages to cause Glitch to break itself by getting itself inverted. Fantastic collisions, some great blows in this fight, and ultimately a great knockout victory for Triton. With that in mind, Triton is also in line for Best Driver this week for its brilliant tactical display, and in the underdog performance of the week, the Spike Dudley, because Triton, I will admit, we had essentially somewhat written off at this point, and we did not see Triton managing to beat Glitch. But here we go, coming from behind and taking 3 for 3 in awards this week. So, well done to the Triton team.
Yeah, excellent job.
And fight of the night, as I said before, Bloodsport versus Rotator for this week.
Yep.
a nice compact bomb fest to be seen for sure.
Exactly.
It gave us exactly what we wanted to see in the main event.
Did we have a Spike Dudley? Oh wait, it's Spike. No, best loser. Sorry.
Yeah, I've already mentioned that.
Oh wait, best. Oh wait.
Oh
no, best loser.
Oh, best loser. Ah yes, Captain Shredderator in this case.
Hey.
So. Yeah, that was who we ultimately landed on because they at least managed to give a fair fight in regards to their loss. So well done, guys. You get to go out with a little nod to your credit. So shout out to you, Shredderator.
Oh yeah, so long.
And now something that most definitely did not disappoint in action in the last week. We come to our off-topic segment of the week. Movie number 4 in the John Wick Quartet, John Wick Chapter 4. Mac, you are the biggest John Wick fan that I know.
Yep.
Take it away for us. I know you have been itching to talk about this one.
This movie is 10 out of 10. That's my review.
Yeah, I saw it as well, and guys, honestly, for a movie that is constant action for nearly 3 hours, this does not feel like a 3-hour movie.
It really doesn't. Like, holy crap. Cause like, I'll say the third one feels longer.
Yeah, it's like, honestly, this is a movie that knows exactly what it is doing, and it is just absolutely brilliantly done. It has the best action scenes in all of the franchise, the best fights. There's a lot of great world building. There's very little dialogue, all things considered.
Well, yeah,
But,
I mean,
you know,
it's John Wick. Like, there's barely any. Like,
even
he has like 10 lines overall.
yeah, he speaks like 300 words over the course of the movie.
Good. I need to. How many words did he actually speak throughout like the entire series?
But like even for John Wick standards, this movie is very light on dialogue. But
Oh, yeah.
one thing it is not light on is action. Oh boy, there's so much good stuff in this movie.
This movie is incredible. Like every fight scene is just phenomenal.
I'm gonna say it now. This is the best action movie that's ever been made, in my opinion.
I would honestly agree. I honestly agree. This is the peak of like action movies.
At the very least, in terms of raw action.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Because like.
So yeah, if you.
Yeah.
Oh no. Sorry.
Yeah. Because I was gonna say like this movie basically took everything from like the first three, like the action, like the story, drama. Not drama, like the pacing, I guess. Like just everything that worked in those first three movies, and like. It cut out, like, the stuff that didn't work in, like, those three and, like, just perfected it in this movie. It's just, like, it's just everything good.
Just paid everything off in spades. It really did a great job of going with the lore.
Yeah, exactly. Like, because there was very little that, like, was weird in it, you know? Like, just, because, like, look at number 3, for example. Like, that, like... After a little bit, like, it started getting a bit weird with, like, where everything was, like, going. Because, like, you went from, like, New York to, like, wherever the place was in the desert. Like, I forget what exact place that was.
Well, in any case, yeah, it paid everything off in the last few movies brilliantly. This is also one of the last appearances that we ever have of Lance Reddick, who sadly passed away shortly before the release of the movie.
Yeah, like, fuck.
Yes, incredibly young, only 60 years old, but died of natural causes, apparently.
Yeah, like...
And it really just goes to show how much of a dice roll the human body really is.
Right? Like, fucking that's fucked up. Like, you can literally just stop being, like, at any fucking time. That's fucking nuts.
Yeah, because the guy was the picture of health from everything that I understood beforehand. Worth noting, this is not his final appearance that we will ever see in anything. He did film scenes for the ballerina spin-off of John Wick, and that will be his final appearance, but from what I understand.
Okay.
But yeah, he was a very prolific actor. He was involved in a lot of really, really cool stuff as well. So
yeah, and he did well in this movie as well.
Yeah, just a man of exceptional talent. Like, he had such a fantastic voice as well. He did so much good voice work.
God, I'm gonna miss him.
Same. Lance Reddick, one of the great actors of our time, sorely missed.
Cheers.
With that, we come to the end of the episode. Mac, do you have anything else you want to cover this week before we sign off?
I'll say maybe because I could like save like the rest of the week I had for next episode. Because this one, right, yeah, I don't know how long this one's been running for.
Well, I guess we'll see you next time then, yeah?
True, yeah. All right. So, right. Yeah, that's the episode.
Yeah. Okay, until next time, everybody. Take care, stay safe. We look forward to seeing you back next time. The three of you who happen to listen to us.
I mean, come on. Like, we have, 34 people who listen. Or at least, some who put on.
Well, probably more like 8 people at this point.
I mean, yeah, maybe. It's just 8 people putting it. They just leave it on and just forget about it.
Still, we'll take it. Until next time, everybody. He's Mac. I'm Jack. Take care. We love you. Have a good one.
Yeah. Bye bye.